MS Classic Cars. Welcome to our dealership showroom here in Seekonk, Massachusetts. We are open by appointment only, but thought it'd be a great idea today to do a virtual tour of our showroom, introduce myself, and let you check out some of the inventory that we have. This is not a scripted video, it's kind of off the cuff, so bear with me here. Just to give you a little bit of background about myself, I've been in the car business for well over 25 years now, have a lot of experience. I've been involved with classic cars equally as long as that. And when I started collecting cars, I was the person obviously buying the car, and found that when I bought cars, these cars needed a ton of work and a ton of detail work. So I said if I ever get involved in classic car sales, eventually open my own business, I didn't want to, deal with what other people were dealing with buying cars that needed work and so forth. So I always wanted to make sure that my cars were fully serviced, make sure they were fully detailed. So when somebody bought a vehicle from me, it was presented as good as pretty much it was going to get, and it was accurately described. So I've been chasing number 2, number 1 condition cars now for quite some time. One thing led to another, which led up to this dealership that we have here, and we've been now in business here in this location since 2012. Over the years, MS Classic Cars has really developed an outstanding reputation. We hold many world records at Barrett-Jackson as an example. We've sold well over 500 cars, so we're definitely a force to be reckoned with in the classic car industry. Just to give you an idea of what makes us different really than most of the other dealers or private individuals who are actually selling cars, is when we buy a car, we put it through a very vigorous service process. The service department is actually located just a few blocks from here. Pictures of that can be seen on our website facility page. We have 2 full-time mechanics. One of them, which has been with us now for a couple years, his name is Wayne Arnold. The other gentleman's actually just been with us for a few months. His name is John Franceschi. And both great guys that love what they do, and they start from scratch with the cars. They PDI the car completely from the beginning, go through it, inspect it, we make a list, we fix what needs to be fixed, we address it, and then when the car is finished, it comes here to the dealership, and then we do a very, very vigorous detail process. Typically our detail work is one man, about 2 days is spent from top to bottom on each car. And then when the car is finished in the detail room, it comes into the showroom. We take outstanding photos. Corey Smiley is the photographer here. He does all of our marketing. So when the car is done with the photography, then I actually do a video with Corey. We put the car on YouTube, and people can watch these videos now, which is great. Show customers how good the cars run. And then, of course, we put them on different websites that we advertise on, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. We're now even doing Snapchat as well. So it's a great thing in MS Classic Cars, and I think you're going to appreciate some of the cars that we have here. When you call in, if you're ever interested in a car, we don't have salespeople here. You deal with me directly. I know every single car inside out and sideways, because not only did I buy it and chase it through the service department, I chase it through the detail department, I chase it through the photography department. So by the time the vehicle's done, I know it inside and out, and I'd love to talk to you about it more in person. So we'll kind of go through the showroom now, and we'll just kind of do a quick little presentation on each vehicle that I have here. Hopefully you appreciate what you see. The first car we have over here is a 1995 Mercedes-Benz SL500. I actually worked at a Mercedes-Benz dealership for almost 10 years, so I'm very knowledgeable with Mercedes-Benz. It's actually what I drive as my daily driver. Love the product, love the cars. This particular car was owned by the same family for many, many, many years in Florida. It's only got 30,000 miles on it. It's in showroom condition, what I believe to be one of the best Mercedes-Benz SLs in the country right now for sale. Absolutely spectacular car. Over here, something I'm really proud of. Over the years, we haven't really done a lot of Corvettes. So I just started kind of getting more and more involved with Corvettes. My business partner, Brian Frank, actually has always been a huge Corvette fan, and he's been talking to me about Corvettes for a long time. And I just decided, eventually it's time to get involved with Corvettes. We just actually sold a 67 Corvette convertible, a 427, at the past Barrett-Jackson auction in Las Vegas. It was actually a world record that we're really proud of. It was a great car. This car is just as nice as that car, except this car is a little bit more unique because it's a one-owner car until 2010. and I actually bought it from the second owner just a couple months ago. It's an outstanding restoration, original color, Marlboro red. It's got a black standard interior, original drivetrain, 427, 390 horse, 4-speed, original transmission, original rear end. Just an absolutely great car. It's got tons and tons of documentation. It's actually an NCRS award winner as well, which is a kind of a big deal, top flight and so forth. This car here, this has got to be one of the best Mopar, Cudas right now in the country. It's a spectacular 1970 Cuda 440. This car is a 4-speed. Once again, this car is an outstanding restoration. It's in the Galen Govier registry. He also did a full inspection of this car from top to bottom. It retains the original engine, the original transmission, original rear end, photos of the restoration, tons of receipts. Also on that note, any car that we sell at MS Classic Cars, I dissect all the paperwork personally. I put it all in date order, in plastic sleeves, in binders, and those binders are included with every car we sell. So if you notice in our listings, those binders, those are things that I put together that just makes it really organized for the customer when they get the car. The next car over here, this is another car that I'm personally in love with. This is a 1955 Pontiac Star Chief Coupe. These are very, very hard to find, especially in this condition. We actually sold a 57 Pontiac Star Chief in Scottsdale at Barrett-Jackson this year. That was actually a world record car as well. And I said after that car sold, I had to find another one. It was going to be a challenge, which it was. And then I found this particular car, which is just absolutely stunning. Beautiful color. This car does retain the original motor. It's just an outstanding restoration. You can see here it was a national first prize winner at the AACA. You can see all the stamps, that they did from the factory and all the correct wires and down to the correct battery and things like this. Stepping back down in memory lane here, I'm also into the cars that are older as well. I kind of appreciate everything. I appreciate quality. This is a 1931 Rio Flying Cloud. This vehicle is just absolutely beautiful. It's the only one I've ever seen, so it's definitely a very rare piece. Extremely proud to have this in the collection. I don't know if you've ever seen a Rio Cloud, but you got to check out this interior. It is just amazing. Towel rack, foot rack. You can lounge in the back of that. Just an amazing vehicle. And making our way over here, this is actually a vehicle that was built for SEMA. This is a 1970 custom C10 LS conversion pickup truck that I actually had the personal pleasure of enjoying over the summer. I took this car home, actually put some miles on it, enjoyed it. It's a beautiful restoration, beautiful color. It's got a Paul Atkins interior. Again, LS motor. It's actually an LS2. It's got a lot of horsepower. It sounds great. It's got custom side exhaust. Just an absolutely stunning truck. It sits on Rushforth wheels. You can kind of see the Wilwood brakes through the wheels. Just a super, super truck. This vehicle parked next to it, this is actually a 2016 Shelby GT350. What makes this car unique compared to all the other cars that are being advertised right now for sale is this vehicle has under 100 miles on it. I believe it's 62 miles. I actually bought this from the gentleman who ordered the car brand new. Coincidentally, it happened to be the same customer that I bought that 67 Corvette that we just looked at a few minutes ago. That was his car as well. And also, the vehicle that you see here came from him as well. This is actually a 2007 Shelby GT 500. This car actually was ordered by him as well, new. Remember how hard it was to get these cars when they first were released. This car has under 200 miles on it, so it's got really, really low mileage. It's red, white stripes, just an absolutely brand new car that we're really proud to have here. So the Corvette, the Shelby GT350, and the Shelby GT500 all came from the same customer. Making our way down here, this is actually another sweet car. This is a 1969 Ford Mustang Mach 1. I'm a huge fan of Mustangs. I belong to the Mustang Club of America. Mustang Club New England. I just have got a lot of experience with Mustangs over the years, and this one was done really, really different than I've seen Mustangs done in the past. They did a lot of custom work to it, a lot of custom fab work. It was actually done by a company called the Hot Rod Garage. But if you look at the interior, that's really what makes it different than I think anything you probably have ever seen. Kind of a one-of-a-kind interior. The leather's extremely plush. You can kind of see that sweeping dash. Just a beautiful car. Very, very special piece. And this car, we actually just pulled this into the showroom for the first time today. This is something that I'm super, super proud of. Not just into the American cars. As I mentioned, I'm into the Mercedes, but I'm also into the Japanese cars as well. We just sold a magnificent Datsun 240Z LS Custom at Barrett-Jackson that just passed as well. So I'm into a lot of these European cars, Japanese cars, into all cars really. This is something really, really worth taking a peek at. This is a 1983 Honda Civic hatchback, the older body style. Very, very, very hard to find these cars that are even still on the road that have held up as far as the body and things like this. This car was a one-owner car. It has 14,000 original miles. It is absolutely in showroom condition and just a spectacular piece. Making our way over here, this is actually a car that I had in high school. I had IROC Zs when I was in high school and into the years afterwards. These were kind of a big deal, these third generation Camaros. This is not just any IROC. This is actually a 1LE. It's one of 34 built. The 1LE was kind of the race package for the street, if you will, for the IROC. This car only has 1,400 original miles. It's got great history. It's red. It's got a 5-speed transmission, highly detailed engine compartment, just a really special car. Parked next to it, kind of the next generation, fourth generation car, which I also had when I was younger. This is a 94 Camaro Z28, and this one also is a 1LE. I believe it was 154 were built in 1994, but this car has like less than 200 miles on it. So I bought this car from the original owner. It probably has as much documentation as you'll ever find with a car. Again, these cars are in showroom condition. They have been serviced. They've been completely detailed from top to bottom. They're all spectacular pieces. Making our way down here, once again, I mentioned I was into Mustangs earlier. I'm really into Fox body Mustangs. I'm a huge fan of these, as I am with IROCs. These are becoming extremely collectible. 93 Ford Mustang Cobra. We've sold quite a few Cobras over the last year. This particular car is outstanding. It's red. It actually has the gray cloth, which is a little bit rare. It's got 16,000 original miles. It's in absolutely beautiful condition. As you can see, these engine compartments are spotless. You could eat off of them. It doesn't matter which car is in this dealership. They're all in this type of quality and condition. Over here, we actually have a beautiful, beautiful 1969 Chevy Nova. These cars, once again, are on a lot of people's favorite lists. This car here is Olympic Gold. It's got a beautiful paint job, high-end restoration, black interior. It's got a 396 big block. It's a 4-speed. It's got a really nice stance to it. It's just a great car. This is not an original 396 Nova. It's a replica, but it's still an outstanding restoration that I'm really proud of. Super car. Moving over here, this is something we actually just pulled into the showroom as well. This is actually a 1964 Ford Fairlane Thunderbolt. Thunderbolts are awesome. These cars were actually available from Ford in the 60s. You could actually go to your dealership and buy one of these cars, which makes them, really cool now that you can actually find ones that are replicas like this one. The original ones are extremely, extremely valuable, so finding something that's been replicated sometimes makes a lot of sense, because somebody can basically have something that's almost exactly like it was back when it was new, but they can actually spend a lot less money to buy it and still have a lot of fun. Similar to this Nova here, which is a replica as well. But this car is highly detailed. It's won some pretty prestigious awards from Good Guys as an example. We're also a member of the Good Guys Association. I love custom cars. I love hot rods. I'm into all of that. So this is definitely something that you got to check out on our website when we post this for sale. It is absolutely beautiful. These cars actually had fiberglass hoods, fiberglass fenders. They had side exhaust. They had these dog dish style kind of wheels. They had the O'Connell style seats. Just a really cool kind of street legal race car, if you will. Making our way over here, this is one of the most rare cars we've ever had. This is actually a 1969 Plymouth Cuda, a little different than the 1970 Cuda that I just showed you a few minutes ago, the purple car. This is actually a fastback version of the 69, and this car has a 440. The 440 was so rare, they did it kind of as a deal, again, kind of making it more of like a, like a race car for the street. They only produced 360 of these cars. So it is a very, very rare car. I think there's about 75 known to exist right now in the country. We actually have Mopar expert David Weiss coming here on this Sunday to authenticate this entire car. But this car was born red. It's got red interior. It has the original engine, original transmission, original rear end. It is an absolutely stunning restoration. It's getting a lot of interest on our website. You got to check it out if you haven't seen it. And moving over here, this car is actually one of my favorites right now. This is actually a 1969 Chevrolet Camaro. This particular car has a Rally Sport package on it. It is slightly customized. It does have some custom wheels that we actually put on the car. This car sat a little high when I bought it, so we actually kind of lowered the car a little bit. I threw some custom wheels on it. We dialed up the engine compartment. We changed the steering wheel. We kind of gave it our own look. We actually wrapped the chrome trim that's on top of the doors in carbon fiber, which kind of gave it like a really cool look and everything, so it turned out spectacular. We actually have a client coming to look at the car on Monday. He's going to flip out when he sees it in person. Most people do. When people see these cars in person, they're even better than what they look like on our website. They all run spectacular, as you can see in our YouTube videos. So this is a car I'm really proud of. On the note of Camaros, as some of these signs will show you over here at Barrett-Jackson in particular, there's actually some legends that we've owned over the years. Those are the highest awarded Camaros. They go through kind of a award process at the Camaro Nationals, and those cars actually achieved such a high status they became legends. Kind of a cool deal. We've sold legends. We've sold pro touring cars built by Mark Stilo at Barrett-Jackson. We've sold Cross Ram Z28s. We currently hold the record at Barrett-Jackson for the highest selling 68 Camaro, and we actually hold the record for the highest selling 69 Camaro Z28 as well. Jerry McNeish, who does all the certifications and everything for these cars, has been a huge help to us through the years, so definitely want to give him a shout out. And you can see some other vehicles that we've had over there. We have a 66 Shelby. That was actually a world record as well. That's one of the best Hertz GT350s ever built. It was just a spectacular car. You might have recognized that Indian motorcycle with the sidecar. We've done a lot of motorcycles over the years as well. You can see some over here. We did a beautiful Harley Davidson. Carl Almeida, who's kind of our jack of all trades, he actually restored that GMC 42 truck and the 42 Harley Davidson, made a custom trailer for it, and we sold it at the Barrett-Jackson auction at Mohegan Sun this year, and it did extremely well. So very, very cool. And if you look in the background here, this is actually my longest term employee, Christopher Tanzi. He's been with me now going on 7 years, and perfect timing. He's actually doing an 87 Grand National that has 29 original miles on it. So you can see what we do to the undercarriages of these cars. You know, we put them through the service process first, and then they come in here. We use high LED lights so we can see every single piece of the car. Mini steam cleaners. Chris will spend hours and hours and hours underneath this car, cleaning it, wiping it down, pulling it off the lift. He'll do the same thing to the engine compartment, interior, and then of course we put the lights on the exterior. We give them an outstanding detailed job, so that's why they look so beautiful when they're on the website, because we put the time and energy into it. And last but not least, something I'll just show you over here because it's cool. This is kind of our little Automobilia section, if you will. We did sell a lot of pieces of Automobilia over the last few months, but just to show you, we have some pedal cars here that are highly restored. We have a Schwinn Black Phantom bicycle, which is kind of a rare bicycle. We got some cool gas globes, oil cans, you know, pitchers and so forth. We into vintage tractors. We've sold a few vintage tractors over the years. Vintage dirt bikes. Used to be into dirt bikes when I was younger, so I have a soft spot for dirt bikes. We just have some really cool toys over here, some signs and things like that. So I think that gives you kind of a good idea of what MS Classic Cars is all about. Like I said, if you want to check us out, our website is msclassiccars.com. Please like us on Facebook and check out some of our other social media advertising that we do as well. If you ever have any interest in a vehicle, please call me. I will talk to you directly. I'll go over the car from top to bottom and give you a really accurate description. Definitely work you as good of a price as I possibly can. I'll arrange financing if necessary. I can help you with the shipping, kind of here for you before and after the sale. And we look forward to doing these videos maybe once a month just to kind of give you a new perspective of what we have in the inventory and so forth, okay? Appreciate your time. Thank you so much.